back. Episode 3, Other Side of the Badge. Sorry for the wait again, but we here. Yeah, we back.
Little brother Rock.
Part 3. Good to see y'all. Good to hear from y'all. We love the feedback, man. It's been awesome. Nothing but love. We appreciate it. As y'all can see, we listened to some of y'all's feedback. We here. We comfortable now. We chilling. We're here. We're here to talk to y'all. How y'all feel?
Feeling good. Happy to be back. It's good. It's been a while.
Blessed, man.
What's new, fellas? What's new? Talk to me.
Life, but in a good way, though. In a good way, man. Just, we got some good weather finally.
Yeah.
It's out of the cold, man.
Don't say that shit too soon. You know where we live.
Got some shorts on today.
Yeah,
It's good to be back.
Everything's good?
Yeah.
What about you? You had the trip?
Man, just came back from vacation with the Dominican Republic. It was awesome. Well needed.
What part you go to?
We went to Punta Cana.
Yeah.
It was nice, man. I still struggle seeing our people's poor, but
Third world, bro.
third world country, like, vacation is tough.
Mm-hmm.
You just want to get back and just give all, like, here, take it all.
Turn it up in their face.
But you can't. It's like, it's the little kids asking, it's like, oh, man, here, empty my account. Well, then you're like,
Yeah.
But,
Did you try that drink, Mama Wanna?
I got some right here, bro.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. I can tell you what it's called.
Oh, we know.
Yeah.
We know the story. We know the history.
You know the backstory of it?
Yeah.
You got the shit out after.
Hey, man. Everybody taking honey packs. You need to take that Mama Wanna. That's what
Yeah.
I'm just saying. That word on the street is take Mama Wanna over to the gas station honey packs and you all right, man.
It was working well, too.
All right.
Here we go. Jump right into the first topic. What y'all think about the culture, the temperature of the Black culture right now? How y'all feel about it? Like, as we go through this new administration, how do y'all feel? Like, are we getting the back seat? Are we feeling like we're on the spotlight? Are we trying to get everybody on this equal plane? How y'all feel about it?
Man, if we're talking political atmosphere, in my opinion, outside looking in, I want to say still got to get up and grind no matter who's running the office, right? I think there's more people waking up. And I want to say it's generational, not just cultural. Because, if you look at millennials, man, everybody say we complain all the time. Like, I got a 401k just like you, right?
Right.
But it's almost like we got to work twice as hard just to get as much. You know what I mean? But culturally speaking, I feel like I'm seeing a lot of positive and good. I see a lot of entrepreneurs. I see people doing their social media thing or, just trying to be real professionals in their craft. And, they need to get their flowers because it's tough out here. It's tough.
Can we be comfortable?
I'd say so. I kind of agree with you, though. I think that's kind of what's happening right now. There's you just got to get up and keep doing what you got to do. I think it's hard to really keep up with everything because if you really pay attention to it all, you're just going to get beat down and be sad. So I don't know if I can answer truly culturally.
Yeah, this rock's going to turn with or without you. You know what I mean? And I think we get that, like, if we're speaking culturally, like, adversity is just another day. So, we can sit there and put our main focus on it and get blinded by the fog or, put your hard hat on and go to work.
How much adversity do we have to go through, though?
Yes.
Are we past that point? Do we always have to be put our head down and cry?
I think that's
we get some flowers sometimes?
I think that's the way things are going to go always.
For our culture?
Always.
We can get no flowers? And I get no flowers?
No. But I mean,
so the phrase is stop and smell the roses, right? We ain't got time to stop.
The flowers.
Yeah.
Ain't got time.
All right.
What do you think about it? I mean,
I feel like I don't like to get undermined, but I feel like we just don't get the shine like we sometimes deserve. I feel like there's a lot of people of color who have done tremendous, fantastic things, but we kind of get like, okay, that was nice, but for the rest of y'all got to grind and get here because I made it here. It's like, well, let's all come together as one and talk about how you got there.
Yeah.
Can you break down a little bit more on those examples?
So that jumps into like topic number 2. Like just to be honest, this is about to be like some real shit. Like we're all pretty much successful in our career fields, in our life, in our families.
Right.
What is the message and where's the disconnect from people of color who have made it, became famous, and got money? Why doesn't that carry down generational? And what is the message to the next people looking up to us? Like, what is the message, how they get to like us? I think in a Black culture, that is not recognized or familiarized at all.
I think that also starts with us if we're going to get technical then in that regard, because
Us
like
as
I was sitting right here.
okay,
And
okay.
I mean, you have the prime example with your brother, your nephew, your son, everything. I mean, you have all those examples that they're looking to you to do that. That's such a big part of you to be the one that's going to be able to.
You as well, though.
And me as well, but I'm saying that still starts with us. I think I'm not ever going to expect anything to come from the outside. I guess that's just my opinion of it. I don't expect to hear that from people like, hey, you guys need to be able to do this. I don't expect to hear that from who's in the office either, per se. You know, I think that all these things come straight from us.
I've always been the kind of person like you invite what you entertain, right? So look at the social media, the music, and all that. You know, like my music's all over the place, but think about what we listen to or what the younger generations listen to. You know what I mean? It's we sound like them old heads. You're like, man, it's trash. Everybody sound the same, and it's real. But you know, when they turn on the TV, what they see, you know, what is it, the Baddies Club and all that other trash, and you know, that's what's hot. The main focus has been on that rather than entrepreneurship or cats who are doing something that's different. Like I think it's what you're focused on. So I can't sit here and say that we haven't made strides because we absolutely have.
Okay.
This is what do we choose to pay attention to? What do we choose to glorify? You know what I mean? So everybody wants to be an athlete, but cool, when that ball go flat, then what? What's your next step? Are we investing? Are we talking business? Are we talking wealth? Are we talking generational wealth? Are we talking property rather than going back to rocking, the latest fad or whatever's hot, right? Are we doing something to invest? Or are we just trying to keep up with the Joneses, right?
I think we have a unique Black culture because I love keeping up with the Joneses. And sometimes it's dope. Like, yeah, we trying to outshine, let's do it. But I feel like because of where I came from, where I grew up, I also have to bring the next generation with me. I also want to make sure like we're all trying to shine.
Yeah, it just depends how. How are you trying to shine, right?
How are we trying to shine?
That's also the pulling together piece that I think gets missed out on. I think we're not doing it.
When's the last time we've been to a cookout, right? When the 70s and 80s music is playing, with uncles on the grill, moms in the kitchen with the potato salad, the aunties doing their thing. When's the last time we brought that together?
I'm saying. So it starts with that kind of stuff. We
ain't
together
yeah.
on any of these things. So as all that's happening, it's like, how do we expect anything to be recognized or even be done?
Or be
We're not
praised.
doing it exactly. If we're not even doing it together. We're all individually grinding. I mean, individually, like, right. You and I talk all the time. We talk all the time. It's like, hey, Chip, okay, cool, you good? Like, and then it's like back to the grind.
Tapping.
Like, you just hit me. You good? I appreciate it.
Right.
But it was one of those ones. Yeah, I'm good, bro. And then I think I went back to sleep, got up, and then you start grinding. Just go back and start grinding.
Was that just lost throughout time?
It seemed like it was lost coming to our generation. I mean, you want to call them millennials, but you want to, but I feel like we also created things a little bit different.
And economically speaking, man, like it's for real tough. Like you got people who are really 2-3 jobs just to make ends meet. So you can't do no cookout, man. Look at groceries right now. Yeah, it's going down, but yeah. I just talked to Dave. He talking about brisket was $80. I'm like, shit. Yeah, right. So you talking about once you ain't licking, it can't. You know what I mean? We don't lick up and have noodles. Like, nah.
You hosted that last bar.
Yeah.
I mean,
See, that's true, right?
See?
That's what I'm saying. Think about that. So I'm not trying to think about food, but I think that's the same concept.
But food is
when
culture.
it comes to grinding. Well, I'm talking about more so what that original question is.
Right.
I think that's where we're left at with trying to come together in those things. That's why we look so forward to this. Let's get to talk and do this because this is what our community is. This is us getting to vent it out at the same time trying to.
I see the wheels turning right now.
Yeah. So we could dive deep into that. I have so many things about it, and I never really thought about it as like our generation kind of like in a prison, they keep that glue together. I try to blame the last year's or the previous one, like, man, the motherfuckers didn't like
Gen X?
yeah, like man, I just was like, they kind of fucked us and like didn't set us up. And I never thought about it. Like it was our responsibility to
Yeah.
keep that together. So and this whole
Yeah.
time, I had a segment ready for. But I ain't even go that route because I didn't think about like, damn, it's us, it's us, it's us.
It's us. When you think about we're the generation that has started with no computers. Now we have computers. So we're the generation that have a little bit of both. We have other generations that all they know is that technology and those things. We're the generation that I think are such pioneers of those things, but at the same time, I don't think we've done a good job of
A
keeping
hybrid.
together because we're
the hybrid. Like we were outside until the lights came on. And then we knew how to play online, right? If it came to PlayStation, Xbox, XYZ, but we're the hybrids. And somewhere down the line, we just got lost in the sauce, and
it's all about us. And I think we're very selfish, very to ourselves. So you're not really looking to open up and keep passing on what was happening before us.
Let's talk a little more selfish. That was one of my points right there. What happened? What think about it as in your life events. Like, what are some of the things that you, as we were in our 30s, that just kind of shifted the culture of black, like just a black culture to a little more selfish than normal? Was it we became more successful? Did the gap get bigger from the successful people to the poor people, or just? I feel like our culture, our millennials, are a little more selfish. Yeah. I like.
I think we got a little bit more free will in that regard, where it used to be, I think when you think of like our parents and stuff, it was like they just had to do what they had to do. Had 9 to 5, had to take care, had to do this. It was so set and structured. Where now we're able to have that choice. We're able to go out, which I think that generation for allowing us to do that,
Right.
to show us, hey, you can just go to school, just try this out, go to school, do this. I guarantee you're going to have a little bit of a more successful path.
Yeah. We quick to start over and do some other shit. You know what I mean? Like you look at your parents, man. They got the same job for how long, right? You look at us, we're like, nah, I'm good. Go try something else. And that's cool, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But when you have, that said choice, like we were just saying, it's like that's where your selfishness come in because you pull back a little bit and you start trying to map out what my next step is instead of thinking about everybody else around you and also, bringing up these young heads, you know what I mean? Because we were the same way. That's how we knew how to grind. And, the older cousins and everybody else, so they had to do it.
But that gets more different. You put in the whole, like, not having kids perspective.
Oh,
Like, I think that changes everything. Because now you can really do what we got with our parents. They were grinding and just making it work,
For those who got kids,
yeah.
hey, shout out
Kids
to
are
y'all.
awesome, love kids, want them, and all that still. But I mean, you put that in perspective, that changes everything we're talking about.
I'm still trying to wipe my ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong, man. We already have
Kids are on the horizon. They're not off y'all's plates. They're not off the plate, right? They're off the table.
Nah, not at all.
We need some juniors.
You ready? Said there will be the 58-year-old dads at the graduation.
Hot uncle, man. Trying to show up. You know what I'm saying? What up, Nick? Boy, I tell you, teach us today. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Yeah, we got the Uncle Drum. So it's good.
Uncle Drum.
I love it.
Yeah.
What do you think about the whole selfish thing? When you think of all this, where does it happen? How do we get here?
How do we get? I feel like we got here because we started making a lot more money, and the money started being glorified in the public image. Ballers and rappers, and then those people start chasing that, and some people were able to achieve that, and then those doors started closing behind the rest of us who couldn't catch up, and we just created this selfish culture. Like, and anybody can challenge this, and we can talk about it and discuss it, but you can't really. You don't know 5 black millionaires personally.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I think I know one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually dope ass dude. Got to see his house the other day. I was like, man, this is stellar.
Does he help out, get back to the community type thing, or does it go along the lines of what we're talking about? or is he just doing what everybody does, looking out and just grinding?
I think the other part is we're
Grinding.
expecting people to reach out with that kind of knowledge and success. We're expecting them to go out of their way to say, hey, let me show you how I did it, rather than show me how you did it. Like, we should be going out to them.
Is it expected, or in some cultures it's already happening?
It's appreciated if they reach out, right? If you got somebody who left the hood and made it, you would want them to get back and give a shout out and say, hey, let me show you how to, get about the mud like that. But it's actually up to us to follow. You know what I mean?
Well, does somebody accept it if a guy, a person, or a woman is, hey, let me spit this game to you, teach you how? Is our culture accepting of that? That's a no. Y'all know, we all know that.
Quick. I mean, again, if it ain't the hottest thing,
Yeah, it might be
if
if
it's
it's
corny,
it's corny.
they ain't with it. They ain't with it.
But I think historically our culture has kind of always had that mentality, that lobster theory. Have you ever seen that or heard that? That's where once somebody starts climbing up,
Crabs
back
in the
down.
bucket.
Yeah, I always think of it from Red Lobster.
Crabs in the
Yeah,
bucket.
they actually have their claws, whatever, taped up. But that's kind of the theory I think we all kind of live by still. Where one's trying to make it up. So if you can make it out, you're good. But then the rest, it's always like we kind of tend to leave behind.
Okay.
And I think that's the part where maybe other cultures, I think they do have a good concession planning to kind of keep those things going, where we're trying to create that now. But not like I think us, we were probably an exception to that, because I think we look out for others, we take care.
Best we can.
Our
Yeah,
witness.
best we can.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's the overall perspective.
Right.
Nor should it be.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Let's jump into the next segment. I want you guys to talk to me about, we'll all talk about some cultural influences you have, or like people, famous people like you, like idolized, grew up on, music wise, TV wise, like people like as you just grew up through life, like really impacted you to the core. Like I started off where Tom Brady was like, even though he's not of my culture, just being starting from the bottom is like something I just hit my soul on, just grind it up.
What ways we Tom put it?
Just being doubted, 6th-round pick,
Underdog.
had to fight, had to prove himself. It's just like, damn, I was just like me, my whole life. That's me. Shit, I can't throw the shit like Tom, but I relate to it, Tom.
I get it.
Also, just like certain musical influencers, like I love the story of, like, if you guys saw the movie Easy In, like just to see like Ice Cube and how they came up, it was like, damn, that's deep. I love that kind of stuff. So we can talk about, tell me about some of the people like hit you.
Mine was LeBron. And if that's the case, we're talking about athletes, I'll start there. LeBron obviously grew up with a single mom, just like I did, and that's something that I've never taken lightly. But I think after you seeing his movie, I don't know if you guys ever seen it, but it came out a long time ago. But it just tells his story.
LeBron's movie?
Yeah, movie, documentary. And it's actually pretty dope. Can't even say about it right now, but I have to say the next one.
Okay.
But
Came out a couple of years ago, didn't it?
it was a long time ago. Like, my mom and I always go see it, but just his everything and how it was, it just reminded me so much of that grind of growing up that way. And mom, her working even just at Wendy's, working her 9 to 5 and making her $3.80 an hour just to make it work. Take care of my sister and I. And one of those ones I remember just watching. I actually played basketball. It was one of those ones I was like, all right, I have to be like LeBron. Yeah. So it's still crazy to see him still playing the game. And honestly, it's not. To me, that's my joy. My generation. That's a whole different story of it. But that's when I think of LeBron. It's all those
Some
things.
positive argument, dog.
It is an age generational thing.
It is what it is.
Because I can't be like, oh, I watched Jordan do this. And I mean, I was 4 years old. How am I going to appreciate that? Versus a 10-year-old when you can actually watch a LeBron.
I respect that, because if you look at LeBron, man, he's still with Savannah, right? He ain't never been in the tabloids like
still
negative publicity or anything like that. So that to me is GOAT.
Yeah. So for me, that's one that still sticks with me.
LeBron is our GOAT.
Yes.
LeBron is the best basketball player.
We appreciate Jordans and all that.
Appreciate it.
But
you got to say on and off the court. Yeah. He's doing big work.
Yeah,
big work.
LeBron is the standard. Yeah.
Just saying, there's a lot of people don't like that, but LeBron for me that's it.
I got a cat that's not on that level, man. CT Fletcher. Uh,
CT. Yeah.
yeah, the Superman of Compton. And I started watching his YouTube videos in college, lifting weights. Everybody want to be big and strong. But, he always said, it's still your motherfucking set. He said, I don't care if it's cold. I don't care if it's raining. I don't care if the kids are sick, you sick. And he said, for the ladies, I don't care if it's that time of the month, it's still your motherfucking set. You still got to get your grind in. So when he said that, that kind of stuck with me. And his backstory, man, he held the record for bicep curl, and he ended up having like a triple bypass. And doctors said he'll never lift again. This dude he refused to be in a wheelchair and was back in the gym lifting. So to me, that's like, die doing something you love and it's still your set. So regardless of what you're going through, if you're depressed, you're sad and down and out, cool, have you a little pity party, but when you're done, get your ass to work. So that always stuck with me. You know what I mean? So, because everyone's so used to grinding and you get the reward and success, and it's like, yeah, I made it. But what happens when that door shuts? What are you made of then? So CT Fletcher, that's my.
Yeah, I was expecting that one. That's good.
That's like I don't think a lot of people know who that is. Man, don't look up CT Fletcher. I used to watch those on
YouTube videos. Yeah, old school.
Don't look up CT Fletcher. That's beautiful.
Yeah, like
it's
I mean, yeah. Shout out to the athletes, right? Because we've all been on the gridiron or on the court, right? But and that's a different animal there.
Yeah,
different animal. So
now let's talk about your modern day, like right now, like artist, actress, like you just like, man, I'm rocking with him or her. Like, this is my peoples right now. Like, I'm down. I'm with it. Like,
who you got?
Oh, man. A lot of people don't like him, but Will Smith smacked the shit out of Chris Rock. I love Will Smith. All right, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. He smacked the shit out of him.
everybody mad at Will, but at the same time, it's like, try doing that shit outside in the street.
Oh, he would have got his ass whooped.
Try popping off at the mouth, like, you know what I mean? Like, I get it, they're comedians and all that. Oh, don't get your feelings hurt. It's just comedy. Yeah, man. But if somebody off the street was talking to you like that, and your mentals ain't right,
it went on both sides though. Like I honestly, if that was on the street, Will would have probably socked the shit out of it. But he kind of was like, okay,
I don't even want to get into the
Will.
Will.
Let's take the snap out of it. What brings you to figure that day? Will, what do you think about?
I love listening to Will talk, man. If you listen to Will talk, he thinks about everything at home. He never forgets about anyone or anything. And when he does something, he thinks about the impact of how everybody's going to impact, or the way he walks through life is how everyone's going to impact. He's probably the richest black man on earth. We could say that.
One of.
I wouldn't say something.
But in the afterworld, have you seen him with jewelry on?
My guy, I'm gonna say that because I think it's going to challenge you. Okay,
but Will is something that's just like, man, you just listen to him, you talk to him, man.
He's relatable.
Is he an angel? Is he a saint?
He's relatable.
I just love, like, Will's probably, I love listening to like Michael B. Jordan, the way he talks and walks through life and stuff like that. Artists, like, it used to be Jay-Z back in the day. I think Jay-Z, I used to love listening to Jay-Z and, his interviews and listen to him do his music and all that. Jay-Z's been a little weird for me lately. I don't know. Maybe he just grew up in this guy that's super weird.
Yeah.
Those are like my top ones. I got some ratchet ones that I fuck with. I would probably never go let that die, but I love turning up some Boozy. What you talking about, Boozy? He talking about some man, Boozy ain't, but he giving back.
He's raw.
He loving the hood. He bringing the hood together for all his community events. Is like he's telling the whole hood. He's gonna, hey, everybody, come down. I'm doing crawfish boil for the whole city.
Yeah,
I love it, Boozy. Every time I hear him talk, like, Boozy, what you doing, bro? You having a party for the whole city? That's crazy. I love it though, Boozy. Keep doing it. I love it, bro. I don't think I could show up to an event because I don't know. My mental can't be there, Boozy. But I fucks with you, Boozy. Shout out.
That's Boozy. That's Denzel. I've always been a big Denzel.
Go.
For me, I feel like that's the go.
That's the go.
Like Will Smith, I appreciate the Fresh Prince, but Denzel's always been one of those ones. you listen to his story, he has some good things out there, some motivational speeches that he even tells the story just what he went through of just growing up, didn't know what he wanted to do, and he's over at his mom's used shop, and some lady just looked at him and was like, "Hey, you're gonna do something big someday." He had just got cut from trying out for a Broadway show, and it was one of those ones that he's like, "I don't know." So I just relate in that sense of not necessarily getting cut from a show, but just for him to be able to be where he is and do it, I've always just appreciated it. I actually got to meet him at the Go Ground. He was here watching one of his sons play ball.
That's tight.
And back in like 2009, it was random, but his son actually played ball at Penn State University. But he was here for a Go Ground and got to talk to him and everything, and it was just cool and chill. And maybe that's why he's my top person that I think of.
You got to meet Denzel.
Well, I got to meet Denzel. And it was the coolest thing ever.
That's crazy.
And it was just one of those ones where, like I said, when you think about everything, like he just actually became a pastor actually out in New York because he's retiring after he does that Black Panther 3. That's his last movie.
Yeah.
And he's hanging it up.
He did.
He's going to go into ministry. So I don't know. He just has a story, the way he just carries himself. I mean, in all his movies, he kind of stays consistent. But I think that's also what I can relate to is just kind of staying. You try to just stay who you are no matter who you are. That's why he's never been in movies where you see him doing crazy things. And he even said one day, he's like, I don't have a need to do those kind of movies because that's just not who I am. So I feel like that's who I really can relate to. I don't have anyone in the music industry, if I'm being honest right now. But more than anything else, there's definitely Denzel, the Broncos, too, I think.
I'm drawing a blank with music and movies. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I'm on repeat with movies and stuff, and my music's all over the place, man. Like, I'll have some country, some hip hop. I even got some metal way up in there if I'm doing some heavy weights in the gym. Like,
I would challenge you that my music's more all over the place than you.
I think I'll challenge
unless you said you got some EDM in your tracks, man. I
got EDM,
I got me beat.
gospel, I got some country,
All right.
hip hop.
I got all.
I got a little bit of everything.
All right, across the board. Got to have a variety.
I got Billie Eilish in there somewhere too.
I fucking love it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, listen, all
Yeah, that's similar to music. I just can't do country when I'm lifted. Outside of that,
It depends, man. It's some good come, man. I'm on this Chris Stapleton real quick, man. You can't. You can get in your
I
feels,
guess
bro.
it depends on what it is. I won't be crying while I'm bench pressing.
Nah.
My last segment, my 2025 playlist so far, I mixed it. I have a variety of wire ranges.
Mix it up.
Yeah. So, like, along those lines, like, what is your message to the world as we in that segment? Like, talked about like people, Jordan. Circle back to Jordan, but
Yeah. I live by a phrase, man, one day at a time. And I had to learn that through my divorce. My mom was always telling me one day at a time. Because you're always thinking about so much shit going on, man. You just got to conquer today, right? When you wake up, conquer that one too. One day at a time. And it leads into one foot in front of the other. So, whatever it is folks is going through, just one day at a time, man. For real. Like, stop, slow shit down if you can, and, just figure it out. If you can hold on for one more day, that's all you got to do. And then you're going to get an answer one way or another. Just one more day.
You feel like that's just safe to say that you're living just like all you can do day by day moment mentality?
Yeah, I mean, again, we go back to what we said earlier, man. Like, you wake up worrying about the stock market, the politics, and the world events that's going on. Man, take care of you. You know what I mean? Like, everyone gets so wrapped up in that, and I stop and think, got a roof over my head.
Elaborate on that more, though.
As far as
take care of you.
Oh, man.
For somebody who's listening to you, and there's a lot of people who listen for you.
Yeah.
So you gotta take care of yourself. Means you gotta dive into that one. So you gotta dive deep.
If we're gonna talk about Black community, right, we need to focus on our health, physically and mentally, but physically, like, it's okay to, splurge a little bit on what we eat, but man, we all grew up on that hog, high blood pressure, hypertension, all that bullshit. That's what's killing. That's a silent killer, and y'all know that. Y'all respond to them shits all the time. But it's like, focus on your nutrition, man. Be there for your kids, right? Focus on your mental health. Find a way to decompress. Like, you ain't gotta, sit and isolate away from your family, but find some time for you. You know what I mean? Like, you got to put yourself first sometimes. And I don't know the best way to explain it, articulate it, but if you worry about everybody else but yourself, man, you're gonna find yourself real empty, real hollow, real quick.
Mm.
So that's what I mean when I say find time for you, take care of you, get the gym. Ain't nobody telling you got to be, competing in a competition in 6, 7 months. Ain't nobody saying that. Just go to the gym.
What if
Dog.
you go in the gym and you still got to do the thing? So
Fuck
can you do?
it's still your set.
Well, so you're done with the gym. So your gym's good.
Yeah.
What else could you be doing?
Man, if you are tapped into your faith, crack open that book. You know what I mean? If you don't, and have a conversation with the big man, that's still prayer. Me, I talk to family, quality time. We play cards. Especially with grandma. Folks getting older, spend that quality time. I watch movies. That's how I decompress, man. Like after work, unfortunately, I work out at work. I get paid on the clock, get paid to work out. Cool. I go home, I shower, eat, turn on that Amazon or something for 2 hours, and it's end up watching me. You know what I mean? Like find something to just chill, slow the world down, or just turn off the outside. Get off that damn social media half the time. I'm guilty of it. I'll be on TikTok till the phone hit me in the face. You know what I mean? Like I think we get so wrapped up in what's going on around us instead of what we have on our own plate. You know what I mean? Everybody want to talk about how they want to eat until your plate is full. Then what? Start eating. Get after it.
Mm.
So
That's good.
That's good. And along the lines of like the viewers and stuff like that, that's easier said than done though. That's a lot. Like like a prime example is like the panel looks at us and like you know probably like how these men are doing it and like stuff like that. But I know for a fact like some of the things like reaching out to people is tough, even for myself. Staying motivated
mhm.
to just do certain things is like really tough, man. I think one of the most impactful messages I want to have for the viewers is like, don't lose faith in people
Yeah, absolutely.
because we're here for each other. We just, as we talked about earlier, our generation has lost touch of who we are. For myself, I'm not religious, so I tend on the people that I love and I surround myself with. So when I'm looking for myself to find some like, oh, I need some TLC, for lack of better words. I need some help, or I need some guidance, or I need some. I'm looking into my people, my son, my brother, homies.
That's the circle.
So that's for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I have nothing against people who have their faith. That's just how I do it. So that if there's a viewer out there who's like, man, I don't have that. You know. So there's just other ways.
Like we was joking earlier, right? With whatever church or pastor that was, close the doors, right?
Yes.
We ain't saying you got to go and get extorted, we're just saying like Tom Brady's the GOAT, right?
40K.
And Tom Brady always said, "Fuck your motivation, discipline. Discipline is key." And I'm starting to learn that, and it's like it is hard to be motivated. You know what I mean? Like you're like, man, how do I keep grinding? How do I keep going? And then you wake up one day, you're like, man, fuck the grind. Well, guess what? You still got to do it.
This is everything.
Discipline is everything, man. Whether it be in your relationship, your personal life, your job, whatever. Discipline is everything. Without discipline, you ain't got shit.
Yeah. Tell me your perspective of that. Like,
When I think about it all, I think about just like that word discipline so stuck in my mind.
Yeah.
I think it's also just kind of knowing where you come from. I mean, I do have a religious background, being a Christian, just born and raised doing
Close the doors.
That's my foundation. So I do think you have to know when you go back to where your foundation is. I say,
right.
mother who I speak to all the time, pray every day. That's something. I mean, every morning I wake up, the first thing I do is open up my Bible app before I do anything else. That's what the first thing is. So I think I do come from that faith background, and I do think there is that. That's what keeps me grounded. Then at the same time, I think when you're looking beyond that, if it's some workshop, I feel like I have that work community where we can talk.
Yeah.
We can discuss certain things, and
Yeah.
be like, man, you know what? This is tough. But then there's a time for this past week I've been on. I'm not really thinking about work per se, so I'm also not talking work stuff. And I'm like, we have relationships outside of work, because then you can also still talk to your homies and have those conversations where we're just talking. And that has nothing to do with a fire truck whatsoever.
Okay.
And I think that's part of what I do is I found that community I like to think that has been built around and just knowing when to tap in to what you need to tap into.
Yeah.
Easier said than done, like we're saying, for all these things, but also just knowing when you need to go to this side, you basically need just your homies that you can talk to and just talk and laugh and not even have to think about anything else. Okay. You want to talk about sports? Let's talk about sports. Let's just talk about why LeBron's this versus the Raiders being the best football team in the league. You know, whatever it may be. You know, it's really about just tapping in. Okay? And that's what I tried my hardest to say about.
Right. So I love it. All right. To end this session today, I want to thank y'all. Little segment called Best 2 out of 3. I'm going to ask a question or a topic, and we just go see best 2 out of 3. I think we clarified one of them, LeBron or MJ.
Y'all just gonna skip over Kobe, which is crazy to me.
Sorry.
Anyway.
My fault.
Rest in peace to Kobe.
My fault. My fault. That's R.I.P. R.I.P.
I don't know. I don't get into basketball too much, you know.
I'll change the question. Kobe, LeBron, or Jordan?
Yeah. I'm a football guy, and that's a whole other conversation.
We'll talk about that.
It's coming, bro.
Yeah, that to me is like.
Who's your answer on that basketball?
If it's between Bron and Jordan,
Kobe too. No disrespect to Kobe.
All right, what are we talking about overall? Like
Just
on and
best.
off the court?
Just man, those 3. Yeah, just those 3.
I'm gonna
Stay
say
on the board, man.
I'm sticking with Kobe, dog.
Okay.
I'm sticking with Kobe. He never.
Oh, it's LeBron. LeBron's the best player to ever touch a basketball.
Yeah. Well, LeBron wasn't even seeing Kobe. Yeah. I'm sorry, man. That's just me.
Tom Brady, Mahomes. Peyton Manning.
Not the Sheriff. I gotta go with the Sheriff. Peyton Manning for me.
Trash.
That's crazy work.
Trash.
Crazy work.
Trash.
Tom Brady. I have to give flowers to Tom Brady, but
he didn't live out here too.
He was the golden boy. You
shout out Peyton. Hopefully you get to watch it one day.
You couldn't.
I might run into him.
Yeah, Tom on that one.
Peyton Manning for me. Like Mahomes, he's getting lost in the sauce a little bit. You know, like that's a whole nother conversation. I don't want to piss nobody off, but I'm gonna go with Peyton.
All right.
2 to 3.
Jay-Z, Kanye West, Lil Wayne.
Wayne is the millennial Tupac. Are you kidding me? Word for word, lyric for station. Yeezy don't even belong in the category, dog.
We taking Yeezy out of you put him.
You can put it wherever you want, but that's terrible.
Wayne.
But you guys already made it. Wayne. Jay. It's Jay.
Nah, dog.
It's Jay. It's terrible.
Lil Wayne.
Lil
Wayne. And a lot of people don't know Wayne dissed Jay-Z. And I forgot what song it was. I'm about to go look for it and pull it back up on next episode. But Wayne killed Jay-Z. And Jay didn't even know it until a couple years later. I got your money. Talk about kidnap your woman, how much you love your woman, right? He was talking about B.
No,
and that flew over everybody's head. Like
Wayne, look up that one.
Lil Wayne is our generation of Tupac. Period.
All right.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
Mixtape king. Fab, Jeezy, or Weezy.
Wait. Your beat was not safe with Lil Wayne. If you dropped a hot song for the summer, man, you had 3 weeks to get your money.
You got Carter 6 coming out.
Yeah, you got it coming out. You had 3 weeks to get your money.
It's coming out. June 6th.
Man, 2005, 2006, 2007.
Okay, Weezy had an error. Let's just say that, like, for fun. But when y'all know when mixtape Jeezy was out,
yeah,
come on, man.
I'm sure.
Jeezy.
Same.
Wayne.
That's too
Mixtape Jeezy was crazy.
Hoopers.
I didn't even know he had an album because mixtape Jeezy was crazy.
I don't know which I got hyped to before a game, man. I don't know.
Jeezy.
Wayne, dog, y'all tripping.
No, we're not tripping, man. Just
Wayne. Your beat was not safe.
I give you that. Man, yes, there was an era. There was a time where I didn't even know songs with other artists because I heard it only from Weezy. Like, damn, I was like, who's rapping on this? Like, this is terrible.
tough category though to try to compare.
You hear the flick of that lighter? Everybody shut up. I got to hear what he got to say.
He did.
You know what I'm saying?
He held us.
Chokehold, dog. Chokehold. Nah,
That's good.
Wayne all day. Sorry. No ifs, ands, buts, man.
All right. Last question. Black food. Are we going fried chicken? Are we going fried fish?
Mm.
Or are we going like barbecue?
What's the size, though?
Mac and cheese, I'm all on.
So the sides, I feel like as a collectively as blacks, we're gonna chop it up at the sides is the same. If we go to the cookout and you got no macaroni and cheese, where are we at right now?
Yeah.
That's trash.
I'm about that.
We probably ain't gonna eat your coleslaw or your if you got coleslaw, we ain't eat it anyways. If we're gonna ask who made the potato salad, we might not eat that. But some
And the greens. And the greens. You can't eat everybody greens either.
I'm tearing your greens up, but if we go to your cookout and we got macaroni and cheese, we're not even showing up anyways. So I guess I'm saying is,
Boy, hold on now. How you cooking the mac and cheese? Some people use eggs, some don't. Are you gonna have a quiche up in that mac and cheese because you don't know what you're doing and you messed up grandma's recipe?
but if there's eggs in your macaroni and cheese, then we already started off bad.
It's something terrible.
We already started off.
There are folks out there who do,
Not eating that shit.
right?
Yeah.
I'm not eating your shit.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Man, I hate the stereotype. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with chicken, dog.
Appreciate
I might have to do that, man.
I know that's tough.
I know you got your catfish.
I'm going fish, man. Yeah, just something. If there's somebody cooking some fire ass,
We having a black ass moment.
it is. Just 2 out of 3. It just is what it is.
2 out of 3.
Hey, we love y'all. Thank y'all for the support. If you guys need anything from us, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe.
Yeah.
Until next time. Thank you.
Uh,
Yeah. Peace.